Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Hello dear students, welcome to another lecture. In this class, we are going to discuss the summary of our poem Spring and Fall of Class 12 Literature Nagaland Poem, written by Gerard Manley Hopkins. So as I had explained to you in the last part of my video, we read this poem in which the poet was talking to a young girl, Margaret. Now, Margaret was grieving. She was feeling sad. She was feeling sorrowful because she could see the unshedding of the leaves of the golden grove. To this, the poet asked her if she considered both some human loss as well as the loss of leaves to be alike. The poet also said to her that is probably because of her young age, and commented by adding that once she grows older, she will understand and she is not even going to spare a sigh to something like this. She will come across the entire ground covered with leaves, fallen leaves, but her heart would have become so cold by then that the sight would not matter to her in the least. Then the poet also ended up telling her that, sadness is something which is the same for everyone. No matter who the person be, the names do not matter, but the sources, the springs of sorrow are always the same. And sorrow and sadness is something so deep and intense that one can neither speak that nor dream that. Even the spirits deep inside us are scared of experiencing something that sad. At the end, in the last two sentences, the poet, realizes and points out to the readers that the reason why Margaret was feeling so sad when she saw the shedding of the leaves was because she could relate herself to the shedding of the leaves. Such is the cycle of life. We all human beings are mortal. Whosoever is born has to die. The life of one person will always come to an end. So at that point of time, when Margaret saw the shedding of the leaves, she realized how much pain would be derived when she herself will have to die. So thinking about something that will take place in the future with her, that is what made her unhappy and sad and cry. So this is what the poem was all about. Let us discuss the back exercises now. So read the lines from the poem and answer the questions. Margaret, are you grieving over golden grove unleaving? Leaves like the things of man, you with your fresh thoughts care for, can you? So who is Margaret? Margaret, as we have all seen, is the little girl who was crying. Now, why was she grieving? Why was she crying? Because she felt bad when she saw the golden grove, the leaves of the golden grove tree falling down. Explain the significance of the word golden grove. So, golden grove over here has been used as a name of a tree. And in totality, in a wider reference, Golden Grove refers to the fact that in the autumn season, this is a common sight that we all come across, and that is the shedding of the leaves. So all the trees, no matter how much they blossom during the spring, the moment this autumn season arrives, they all start to shed their leaves. So golden grove over here has collectively been used to talk about the autumn season. Okay. As the heart grows older, it will come to such sights colder. By and by, nor spare a sigh, though worlds of vanwood leaf me lie, and you will weep and know why. Now no matter, child, the name, sorrow's springs are the same. So what is the narrator assuring the child? What assurance does the narrator give to the child? So the narrator assured the child that once she will grow old, such sights will stop having any impact on her. Such sights will stop affecting her. Why will the child be colder and not spare a sigh? So according to the narrator, the child will get colder and will not spare a sigh because of the age. With the growing age, one gets so used to all the sadnesses and sorrows that one experiences in life that such small things hardly make a difference to one. What, according to the narrator, are sorrow's springs? So, sorrow's springs refers to the various reasons or the various sources of one's sadness, which may vary from one person to another. Nor mouth had, no nor mind expressed, what heart heard of, boast guessed. It is the blight man was born for. It is Margaret you mourn for. So, what has the heart heard that neither the mouth nor mind can express? So, what is it that the heart or the mouth, nothing in the human body can talk about it? Here, the poet refers to the sadness, the sorrows that one goes through in life. Those sorrows are so big that there is nobody who would want to talk about them again or think about them again ever in life. What blight was man born for? Blight the man was born for is the mortality. Every man is mortal. Everyone who is born is supposed to die. And with this belief, every man came into life. Who in reality Margaret is mourning for? So who was actually Margaret mourning for? Margaret was mourning for herself. The thought that one day even she will have to leave aside, leave behind everything, everybody in life and will have to die. So this was the real reason of Margaret's sadness and her mourning. Okay. The falling of leaves carries a deeper meaning. What, according to you, is the underlying theme captured in the poem? As I've already told you, the underlying theme that we are talking about in this poem is mortality. Every person who comes into this world has to die one day, no matter what. Moreover, the entire cycle when a man is alive, one goes through so many sorrows and sadness that with every growing age, man becomes old and man becomes stronger with respect to reacting to these sorrows. So this is what the theme of this poem is all about. When confronted with the death of the leaves, Margaret experiences an emotional downturn. Do you think she's too young to understand the concept of one's own mortality as expressed by the poet? Express your views. Now, what does the question says? That when Margaret came across those leaves that were falling down, she experienced a very emotional moment at that time. So the poet is asking us that according to us, in our opinion, was Margaret too young to understand the entire concept behind mortality, and that is why she was so sad? Yes, indeed, I do agree with the same statement. As has been correctly told to us via the poet, Margaret was too young. And since she was too young and fresh and innocent, this thing, this concept, this phenomenon known as mortality was too big for her to understand. And it is this, that made her sad and disappointed, realizing that one day she also will have to die. If spring and fall is not necessary about seasons, what is it about? Explain in your own words. So spring and fall is not necessary seasons. If do you think that the spring season and the autumn season, these two seasons are not necessarily the only important seasons that we should talk about? So yes, spring and autumn comprise of two important seasons, but apart from that, we also have the other seasons in which one experiences all the joys, all the happiness, all the cheers, and the excitement in one's life. So we need not forget that spring and autumn are two important seasons, but apart from that, we have the summer season as well, that makes everyone cheerful and gay. We have the winter season also to close the cycle that might seem to be gloomy and sad and dark, but following the winter season, we again have the spring. So this ways, it is the entire cycle of life that the four seasons represent. We have sorrows, we have happiness following sorrow, and obviously one always reaches those days which are gloomy and sad. But we need not get disappointed and disheartened, because when winter comes, can summer be far behind? Okay. So, rhyming scheme of the poem. Let us discuss the rhyming scheme of the poem now. So, the first stanza, if we talk about, the last word of the first stanza is the. Let me give this an alphabet A. The last word of the second stanza is leaving. So, grieving and leaving, we can see there is a similarity in the sound. So we will give it the same alphabet that we gave to the first line last word. Then comes the third line last word, which is you. Now you does not rhyme with the words given above, so we give it a different alphabet, that is B. And then comes the last line, again you, which is the sound. So what is the rhyming of the first stanza? A, B, B. Let us move on to the next stanza now. Older. First word, the first line, last word is older. Second last word is colder. Now, older and colder have same sounds, so we give both of them A. Then comes sigh. Sigh does not rhyme with older or colder, so we give it a different word, that is B. Then comes lie. So lie and sigh, they have the same sound, so we give it B again. And the last line of this stanza is Y. So sigh, lie, and Y, all three have the same sound. So the second stanza, which is 5 lines, has the rhyming scheme A, B, B. The next one, name. The first word, the first line, last word is name, and the second line, last word is same. So name and same have the same sound. Let me give them the alphabet A. Then we have expressed and guessed. Now expressed and guessed have the same sound, so let me give them the same alphabet B. Then comes for and for. Same sound again, but different from the sounds that we've learned above, so the different alphabet. So the rhyming scheme of the last stanza is A, B, B, C, C. So all the 3 stanzas have different rhyme schemes. Okay, the next and the last question says, find the words from the poem that are closest in meaning to the words and phrases given below. So you are given with 6 words and phrases, and you have to find out words from the poem which are closest to them. The first one is lamenting. So the word from the poem which means the same as lamenting is grieving. Give is spare. Youthful and innocent, the word that is used for Margaret is fresh. Shredding leaves is unleaving. Articulated is to express something, and such a word that we can see in poem, expressed. And sources is springs. Remember, sorrows, springs. So springs. So with this, my dear students, we come to the end of this poem. We've discussed the poem with you, explained to you the entire poem well, and discussed the back exercises as well. So I hope the entire poem was clear to you. I shall see you all now in my next lecture.